Hi all, Nick here from Technology Lowdown. Today we are setting up a speed test logger. So what this is basically Speedtest CLI, which is a GitHub project which runs on Linux, and it basically uses speedtest.net's API to run speed tests and log it to a CSV file. So what I have found is speedtest-logger, which is also another GitHub project, but it enables you to graph your results. It will also still log to a CSV file for yourself, but as you can see here, look, I can see what my download speed is, my upload speed, and my ping. I can select a different period of time, and I can look back at all the history that I've got. In fact, I've got about 2 months here just about, and it still seems to be running pretty flawlessly. So you will need a Raspberry Pi to get this set up, and you will need your SD card and all that goss that you need for your Raspberry Pi. So I've decided to use Raspberry Pi with just the Jesse Lite version. So let's select the image, Raspberry and Stretch Lite, and I've got my SD card in there. I'm just going to flash it. So once you've got your card set up, we will lift off from SSHing into the Raspberry Pi, and then we will start to install Speedtest Logger. So Etcher has finished. I'm just going to set up the headless environment for this Pi. Let's add an SSH file here. And we'll also do a WPA file there as well. It is this one. I'm just going to configure my details here. Alright, that's all set up for the SD card, and now it's just a matter of booting to the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I've got Pi up here, just SSHing in, and alright, here it is. Pi and Raspberry. Alright, to begin with, we just need to just do Raspberry Pi config, so sudo raspi-config. And we'll just change a few things which will probably be quite important for this, which is your time zone and your locale. Might just do that again. That's better. Alright, so that one's good. And we'll just expand the file system, and then we're done. We'll just reboot. Alright, so we're back up. Let's do a sudo apt update and upgrade. Now, so this is using NodeJS, so NodeJS and NPM can be installed onto the Raspberry Pi, and that enables you to run your NodeJS projects. So in a minute, once this sudo apt update and upgrade finishes, we will be linking it with version 12 of Node, which is this one here for ARM. I'm using version 12.4 and ARM v7. I haven't used ARM v8, but it may or may not work on the Pi that you've got. I have the Raspberry Pi Model 3 here, and it seems to run quite well with this setup on the Lite. I'm using a Lite version without a GUI because the way I've got my Raspberry Pi set up is I run several services on it, and having a GUI on it would take up too many system resources. So once this sudo apt update and get finishes, we will then get into installing some packages which we need, such as Git, NodeJS, npm, and Python-PIP. Alright, so that update finished. I just cleared the screen, and we need to do a curl s, and then we're going to grab a package from node source. That source has been installed, that we can now do an apt install, and we will install Git, NodeJS, npm, and Python-PIP as our package manager. Okay, so that's finished. Now we need to install NodeJS and npm. So sudo apt-get install NodeJS. Alright, so just to test Node is installed, node-v, we've got that, and I think that actually installs npm, and looks like it has. Alright, so next we can actually jump onto installing Speedtest CLI. So you can pretty much follow the instructions which it has here, which is going to be pip install Speedtest CLI. So I'm just going to copy that one in with the sudo command. Now, if you haven't used Speedtest CLI, it's a great little package. You can just use it by command line within Raspberry Pi, and you can call it up anytime you want. Speedtest CLI also has lots of other useful features. You can still log to a CSV file. You can also do things like plug into the API and set it up to like an if this then that setup. So I find that this fails quite often on the first run for running this sudo pip install. If it does that, it's okay. Just do it again, and it should complete successfully. Okay, so Speedtest CLI is installed now. So this is how we can use it by command line, and this is how we can be certain that it is working. Alright, so it's doing a download test there now. And now it's doing the upload speed. Okay, so you can see that it gives you a fair bit of information there. So now we are onto the speed logger, and it's by a developer called Eric Mann and GitHub. And basically, he's got the instructions listed here on the page of his website. I've got this video done here because I did find that it was a little bit of a lengthy process to get it all running well. So I'll put in his first command here. I'll put in this git command, which will enable us to grab it from his git. So git clone, and then github.com Eric Mann speed logger, and that'll create a folder called speed-logger in the current directory, which is our Raspberry Pi's home folder. Now we're just going to cd into speed logger. And to test that this is all, before we can make sure this is all working, we need to go sudo npm install, and this will install all the packages which speed logger is using. Now, if you just run an ls here, I'll show you this file. We've got cat speed.js, and in this, I might nano in actually, nano speed. Alright, so in this file we've got some options. So you can set an interval. For a period of time I had 60 set here. And you can set it to log file, listen IP, you don't need to change that. You can also set it up to email the admin. Yeah, so do change those settings if you are using this on more of a long-term setting. So let's do node speed.js, and this will get the instance actually running. Alright, so I'm going to open that one up. Should be this one. Alright, so there's nothing there. It's still running a speed test in the background. We can tell it's running because it hasn't actually finished this command here. Just F5 that again. And there we go. We have a result now. So it's 31.1 megabits per second and 9.79 megabits per second. 30 millisecond time. But the problem with this is, as soon as I end this, it will no longer be running those speed tests. So how do we get around that? Well, what we need to do is install a npm tool called PM2. So it is sudo npm install g PM2 at latest. So what PM2 will enable us to do is set it as a job which can start each time the Raspberry Pi loads up. So it says here PM2 is a production process manager for NodeJS applications with built-in load balancer. So it seems to be quite a useful tool. So we've got a command here called PM2ls, and that lists all the different apps that you've got running under PM2. Alright, so that has installed. So now we need to go PM2 start speed.js. You need to make sure you're in the directory, which you should be if you've been following this. And it will show us status down the bottom here. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so now we need to issue a command PM2 startup, and that will give you the command line that you need to set PM2 to start on startup. So I've got that copied to the clipboard. I'm going to paste that one in, and now that is added to the startup information on the Raspberry Pi. Now to see if that's still running, we can go PM2ls, and we can see that speed is running there. So let's just do a sudo reboot, and we will make sure that it is running after the first load. So give that another 10 seconds or so. Alright, I'll F5 this page. Okay, and here we are back up, and we've got our first result logged there and our second result. So that is running as it should be, and I'll just refresh this one. Pi and Raspberry and PM2ls, and speed is running, so that is great. Well, thanks for watching this video on setting up a speed test logger on your Raspberry Pi. I hope this video has been helpful to you. It has touched on some things which are different to the usual, which is Speedtest CLI. This is speed-logger, and it seems to work relatively well on the Pi. So if you like this video, please like it. If you would like to see more, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. Bye.